involving the Houston Forensic Science Center. It was sparked by the discovery of misplaced evidence linked to a nearly 20-year-old case.
Yeah, this could be a sign of a much bigger problem. Marcelino Benito has been looking into this story. He's live downtown with what he's found today. Marcelino?
Well, guys, the lab tells me that this was an isolated incident, but one lawyer I spoke with says this is proof that there's a much larger problem going on at the Houston Forensic Science Center, and he's asking them to take action. It was an unusual find inside a former employee's office at the Houston Forensic Science Center at HPD headquarters.
It became evident to them pretty quickly that this was evidence. Obviously, at that point, they didn't know what type of case. So that's what took us some time to understand what this evidence was involved with.
It was DNA evidence from a 1998 rape case. Bloodstain cards and biological materials were in an envelope. They should have been frozen and stored properly in a lab.
But somebody's office is certainly not now, wasn't at that point an appropriate place for evidence to be.
Dr. Peter Stout says the Forensic Science Center took the findings seriously. Luckily, they learned the DNA results made it to where they needed to go. There was no impact on that 1998 sex assault case.
You know, this is troubling. This is just what we know about.
Murphy is president-elect of the Harris County Criminal Lawyers Association. He says there are still concerns with how the Forensic Science Center operates.
It certainly underscores the problematic approach that they've always taken. And it still concerns me to this very day because the Houston Forensic Science Center is technically the HPD crime lab with a different name. That's all that's changed.
But Stout says the center's come a long way since it took over the HPD crime lab. They have new computer systems to keep track of evidence, and if and when isolated mistakes happen, they're going to own up to it.
And we do what we can to repair from those errors. In this case, it was one case. It's always a problem for any case, but the errors we're finding now really are associated more with individual cases than with what happened in the past many, many cases.
Now, there were other case files found in that office. The good news, I'm told, that was the only piece of evidence found inside. Len.
And Marcelino, did they reach out to the former employee to find out why this piece of evidence was in his office?
Well, Len, I asked that very question, but I'm told they have not reached out to that employee yet. And as of now, there are no plans to do so. I do want to mention that employee was laid off. He was not terminated because of what happened here. Len.
Marcelino, thank you. We'll continue to stay on top of what is happening at the Houston Forensic Science Center. Check for updates on air and online at khou.com.